Welcome back to This Week in Weed. Let's take a look at our top stories. President Barack Obama is defending his administration's recent crackdown upon medical cannabis providers in states that allow for its use in a just-published Rolling Stone magazine interview. In recent months, federal justice officials have executed raids on dozens of medical marijuana providers and related businesses, including Oaksterdam University. In some cases, federal authorities have even targeted establishments that were operating in accordance with a state license. The Justice Department has also ordered lawmakers in various states, including Delaware, Rhode Island, and Washington, to suspend plans to authorize cannabis providers under state law. Stated Obama in Rolling Stone, "What I specifically said was that we're not going to prioritize prosecutions of persons who are using medical marijuana. I never made a commitment that somehow we were going to give carte blanche to large-scale producers and operators of marijuana, and the reason is because it's against federal law. I can't nullify congressional law. I can't ask the Justice Department to say, ignore completely a federal law that's on the books." He added, "The only tension that's come up, and this gets hyped up a lot, is a murkier area where you have large-scale commercial operations that may supply medical marijuana users, but in some cases may also be supplying recreational users. In that situation, we put the Justice Department in a very difficult place if we're telling them, this is supposed to be against the law, but we want you to turn the other way. That's not something we're going to do." Obama's statements appear to contradict those he made in March 2009 as a presidential candidate, when he pledged to cease utilizing Justice Department resources to try and circumvent state laws regarding medical cannabis. More recently, in December, U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder told members of Congress that the Justice Department would only target medical cannabis operators that use marijuana in a way that's not consistent with the state statute. The federal government continues to oppose allowing licensed farmers the opportunity to cultivate industrial hemp for fiber and other agricultural purposes, according to statements posted this week by drug czar Gil Kurlikowski on whitehouse.gov. Hemp is a distinct variety of the plant species Cannabis sativa that contains only about 0.03% THC, the primary psychoactive compound in marijuana. According to a Congressional Research Service report, the United States is the only developed nation in which industrial hemp is not an established crop. Farmers in Canada and the European Union grow hemp commercially for fiber, seed, and oil for use in a variety of industrial and consumer products, including food. Stating Kurlikowski on the White House's website, federal law prohibits human consumption, distribution, and possession of Schedule I controlled substances. While most of the THC in cannabis plants is concentrated in the marijuana, all parts of the plant, including hemp, can contain THC, a Schedule I controlled substance. The administration will continue looking for innovative ways to support farmers across the country while balancing the need to protect public health and safety. A white paper published by the North American Industrial Hemp Council counters, the THC levels in industrial hemp are so low that no one could get high from smoking it. Moreover, hemp contains a relatively high percentage of another cannabinoid, CBD, that actually blocks the marijuana high. Hemp, it turns out, not only isn't marijuana, it could be called anti-marijuana. In recent years, lawmakers in several states, including North Dakota, Montana, and Vermont, have enacted legislation seeking to allow state-licensed farmers the opportunity to grow hemp crops. However, according to the CRS, the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration has been unwilling to grant licenses for growing small plots of hemp for research purposes, even when such research is authorized by state law, because the agency believes that doing so would send the wrong message to the American public concerning the government's position on drugs. In 2007, 2009, and again in 2011, federal lawmakers have introduced in Congress the Industrial Hemp Farming Act to exclude low-potency varieties of cannabis from federal prohibition. If approved, this measure would grant state legislators the authority to license and regulate the commercial production of hemp as an industrial and agricultural commodity. The present version of this act, House Bill 1831, has 33 sponsors, but is yet to receive a hearing. The measure is before the U.S. House of Representatives Subcommittee on Crime, Terrorism, and Homeland Security. During World War II, the U.S. Department of Agriculture actively promoted the domestic cultivation of hemp during a campaign known as Hemp for Victory. That's it for This Week in Weed. Be sure to check back every Thursday for the latest stories in marijuana law reform.